of MEC Networks Corporation. If I may ask the audience, meron ba sa inyo nakakakilala ng MEC Networks other than today? Anybody has done previous transactions with MEC? Wala pa? There's a nice little giveaway here actually. Wala? So, okay. Anyways, later on, try to get to know MEC better. We have a booth at the back. So, nandun lahat ng aming technology. So, feel free to introduce yourself as well as get to be introduced to the technologies that we offer. And you have as well these freebies within the bags. Alright? So, I'm happy again to speak on behalf of PSITE. I've talked to PSITE before sa Heritage for those who were around during the Heritage assembly. Meron ba dito during that time? Sa Pasay? Okay, so I see a couple of heads nodding, no? I know a couple of your members as well, si Mr. Robbie Manuel, if you see the crowd, from TUA. Or si Miss Nancy Flores, but I think she's with NC Nation, PSITE Nation. Nancy Flores, is she here? Wala. How about Mr. John Ruero? Umalis na. Okay. So Mr. John Ruero is a very, very close industry colleague of mine way back then, around over a decade ago. So we were doing some transactions so when he was still with, I think, Oracle. Right? So, yes, so let me introduce my topic for today. It's all about ICT empowering the academe. So earlier we heard a whole lot about applications on the Google side. So Google, my colleague, si Harold, for discussing more about Google. Google has really reached a milestone wherein nasa category na siya ng Colgate. When we say, instead of search, we say, paki-Google mo na yan. So that's how far Google has gone. And Google has been doing a whole lot of technology collaboration on the application level. On my topic today, it will complement that as we will be discussing more on the infrastructure side. Okay, so let me just introduce our company. So MEC is actually a distributor. And what we do is we bring technologies here in the Philippines. All about ICT, no? We've been doing this for the last less than 2 decades already, and we are present nationwide. We handle multiple products and technologies that we hope to share. We hope to bring them available to you, especially the academic side, because one of our actually saying in the company is that we'd like to give back to the academy. However, on top of our distribution functionality, we complement it with our value-added services in terms of consultancy, in terms of engineering services and support to the market, in terms of training, certifications, paid trainings, or even yung mga generic product and technology trainings we invite end customers such as you. Speaking of all of these technologies that we bring here in the Philippines, just to name them, just to name our core competency, basically we skill ourselves in the technology of connectivity, so ito yung structured cabling. We also have skill sets and competency on wired networks. Same goes with wireless infrastructure, IP telephony, collaboration tools. We have solutions for IP surveillance, video management analytics. We have storage technology, network performance tools, as well as network security. Now, having said all of those technologies, what do they mean to the academy? From our previous experiences with a lot of projects, especially on the academic industry, we have seen that the ICT has really empowered the way the academy performs or executes its main role to educate the market. A lot has changed in the way the academy basically imparts information to the students because of ICT, whether it's on the application level or on the infrastructure side. So just to name a few, in terms of how the academy has adapted to the demands of the market, meaning the students, the parents who require a certain level of education. So the academy has gone through several adaptations, several changes to basically address what the market needs, what the economy needs. And these are all combination of different technologies, but if we zero in into ICT itself, you would notice that these are some of the technologies that are predominant in the way we teach and in the way the students learn. And this is also the same technology that the parents try to have their children embrace, but on a manageable level. Because technology, when abused, can be used for the wrong purpose. Okay. So these are some of the technologies, again, that are predominant in the market, but for purposes of this discussion, which is about 10 to 15 minutes, I'll try to narrow it down to what we call yung predominant technologies being embraced by the academy today. We have had several consultancy engagements with different schools in the country, spanning from northern schools to the southern part, and if we average all of the technologies that they are looking for, that they have concerns with, it's basically dwelling around the topics of BYOD, collaboration, and converged infrastructure. So these are the technologies that are exponentially empowering the way students learn, the way teachers impart information. Okay, I'll discuss them briefly one by one. So I'll go first to what we call BYOD. BYOD basically means bring your own device. Some people call it otherwise. Some people joke around and call it bring your own disaster, bring your own dilemma. So different terms or meaning to the term BYOD. But in the perspective of technology, what BYOD hope to deliver to the school, to the academy, to the university is that it provides, sorry for the picture, medyo malabo ata, but this is actually a classroom wherein the students are all using tablets instead of notebooks. Physical notebooks, I mean. Nowadays we say notebook, it could be a laptop. Okay. So, what you get out of BYOD, meron pala dito naka-BYOD na sa kanilang mga schools, enjoying the technology and the benefits of wireless. Meron na ba? Alright. So what BYOD can bring to your school is actually, it gives you an alternative, an additional access, a portal, a gateway to more information. Not just for the students, but for the teachers imparting information. Okay? Gone are the days that students are just limited to just their notebook, encyclopedias, libraries, or even the teachers limited to just their curriculum. Nasa mga index paper, or index card they call it, or mga notebook. Now everything is available, no? It's just a matter of collating and organizing all of this information to come to a very, very systematic curriculum. Okay? Another thing is your familiarity. When you actually embrace or support BYOD, you encourage your students to bring their own device to school. Okay? Now what that means is that the students are familiar with their devices anymore. That eliminates the learning curve. You can imagine if your schools are equipped with desktops. When students sit down, they will have to learn how to boot it up, how to configure it. So normally the boot up takes about 2 to 5 minutes of booting, of setup. Okay, that's nothing. 5 minutes is nothing compared to the 1 hour of class. But if you accumulate and compound all of those 5 minutes every session, that gives you a full-blown 1 to 2 days of additional information. Okay? So yung bring your own device basically cuts down and eliminates yung learning curve of the students. Okay? It gives them more confidence to use their device and thus allows them to have more access to information that is required in their subject. We also have cost savings for the academe if you embrace BYOD. That means the school need not invest on individual workstations for students. There are schools actually nowadays here in Metro Manila that is requiring students at a certain grade to buy or have an iPad. Specific pa nga eh, the brand. So this is being embraced and this is the reality. Because wireless devices nowadays, they're very, very all over the place. So they're very predominant. You have tablets, you have the smaller version, the tablitos, then you have the smartphones, you have the laptops, even cameras, digital cameras are wireless nowadays. Everything is going wireless because it's human nature. We do not want to be constrained or limited to one physical location. We want to do whatever we want to do regardless of where we are. Okay? So again, that's cost savings for the academy. We also have education anytime, anywhere. Especially for those that would have campuses, different buildings within the campus. You would want the students, regardless of where they are, whether they're lying down on the grass, they can have that time to basically access information. They don't need to be in a classroom or they don't need to be in a laboratory to basically learn. Okay? It's education anytime, anywhere, anyhow. Then you have managed storage. When you say managed storage, once the student uses their wireless devices, they can basically have the option to store all of the notes, all of the information within their storage, or it could be cloud-based. It could be the students who just access a particular storage in a school so that you still maintain an intact and credible database or your file of curriculum. So that is this brief introduction of what BYOD is. Again, this is where the trend is going. Schools are embracing bring your own device. The next is collaboration. Again, my apologies, medyo malabo yung picture, but let me just discuss what this picture is all about. It's a classroom, okay? The teacher is using, of course, their own laptop to teach the student who brings their own devices. It could be a laptop or an iPad. Now, what happens to collaboration in today's technology? What most schools have as design is that the teachers would have their modules, their content in their laptop. Then they just send with a wireless infrastructure in the classroom. They send an email to the students. The emails of the students are already predetermined by the teacher at the start of the academic year or the school year. So for every session, it sends an email, and in that email, there's a URL or a link on which the students link to, and in that particular link, all the students will be able to view what the teacher is viewing in his desktop. If the teacher is actually using a PowerPoint, kita yun ng mga estudyante. If the teacher is using an Excel, a Word, or running a video to further reinforce the topic, then lahat yun kita ng estudyante. So that's part of collaboration. Now another portion of collaboration is that you can have a resource or what they call industrial speaker need not go to the school. They could be on site, could be in a mining. Nasa mining yung industrial speaker. Because of mga video communications, you can also basically show the students what's happening in a real scenario. Sa site, sa plant, sa mining, sa hospital, the data center. So all of these things are made available to the classroom. Okay, so that's the power of collaboration. And in some of the schools today as well, they make use of what they call video analytics at video applications. Yung mga schools na nagpapadesign sa amin ngayon, each classroom, would you believe, merong camera. The camera is equipped also with a microphone. And what happens is that when a teacher discusses a topic, it's captured nung camera as well as the microphone, and that captured information is stored in a central server. For students who were absent or who missed those classes, they can access a particular website to review what was discussed. Or even the student, pag nasa bahay na, they can go back to that particular module to review. So these are some of the technologies being brought about by collaboration. Now for converged infrastructure, earlier we discussed about bring your own device, wireless technology, we discussed about collaboration, but having to put all of these things into proper perspective dun sa iyong campus, definitely you need a good design ng iyong data infrastructure. So we talk about workstations in your schools. How many of them? Madami yan. Every student will need one. There would be also requirement for wireless access points to be deployed all over the campus. You have collaboration tools or devices or communications or phones. Video surveillance. Now, video surveillance can be used for capturing teachers while they are actually educating the students. They're also used for the safety of the students. This is one requirement ng parents nowadays. How are schools, especially yung mga younger students, how are they being provided with safety? Especially dun sa pick-up point. So normally, schools provide cameras dun sa pick-up point, and those cameras are actually accessible by the parents kahit nasa bahay. Para it gives the parents that security, yung safetyness, feeling of safety for their children. And that is a very, very good point wherein when they decided to look for a school kung saan papasok yung kanilang mga anak, they look for these criteria. Safety definitely is one of them. We also have server and storage in the campus. Same goes with your network performance and network security. So these are your firewalls, your remote access for remote enrollment para sa students. They don't have to go to the school to basically enroll. They can enroll from their house. But when they connect to the enrollment system, this is on a secured infrastructure. Now all of these applications and so much more in the school are actually distributed via, could be a fiber ring, or it could be copper technology, or pwedeng wireless. If it's so hard to dig your campus because masisira in yung mga kalsada or yung mga grass that you have, you can deploy wireless technology to connect different buildings to connect their network. And with that, we help out in designing a data center that addresses the whole infrastructure of the campus, whether it's a single building or multiple buildings in your campus. The right design for the network is very important for you to have all of these applications performing at your expected level. Okay. So with all of those technology that we have discussed kanina, that's just a small portion of the totality of what can be done for the academia. This is what we call ICT, empowering the universities, the schools, the verticals of the academia. And with that, provides you with ease of management to do all of these new technologies, but more importantly, you what we call value engineering the design of technology for you. Because your school might have already an existing infrastructure, you want to make sure na tama yun, or it could accommodate more applications in the future. Or for those who are just starting a new school, how to design correctly your school's ICT infrastructure, then that's where actually we come in. We respond to a whole lot of schools asking us to sit down with them, assess what they need, assess what they currently have, and how to grow their infrastructure to accommodate not just the current but future applications as well. So these are the services that we do for the academics. And within our portfolio, we have structured cabling represented by these German technology brands, PE Connectivity, saka Rosenberger. We have wired networks. These are the data switches from core distribution to edge switches, virtualized. So we have technologies from HP, Extreme, and Lantex. We have wireless solutions from HP, Rufus, Extreme, and PSITE. Air Magnet is your wireless security portion. We do not just deploy security wireless applications, but we make sure that we secure them as well. So these wireless solutions are either in-premise, within the campus environment, or off-premise. If you have multiple branches of schools within a particular area, pwede yan i-connect via wireless line of sight. For our collaboration tool, we provide an American technology called Shorten. IP surveillance, access and provision, limits. For storage, Quantum. Network security from Dell Sonic Wall. Network performance solutions. And just to sum it all up, so these are the different brands, technology partners that we have that represent their respective technology spaces. Right, so regardless of where you are, what industry you're from, in your case the academe, regardless how small, medium, or big your school would be, there will always be a customized and fitting ICT solution for you, and we can help you with that. Okay, so with that, this is my last slide basically. Yay!